Good morning. This is Grandma Freeman, and this is my dress completed, except for the elastic around the waist, which is a 1/4 inch elastic. And I didn't have that. That's the one thing I didn't have. I had little pieces of elastic in that size. So if I do that, which I really don't think I have to, but I think it might be better because I've already made the casing on the inside for the elastic, and I will have to go to a fabric shop and find the 1/4 inch elastic. I will need a yard of that and then measure it to fit my waist. So this is the dress, and I left you in part 9 telling you that I would be working on the skirt. I had the top finished with buttons and buttonholes on the cuffs and in front there. So I had to sew up the side seams first, and then I finished the side seams. I did the mock French seams, and I'll show you that here, what that looks like. See, that's what it looks like, and that's all the way up to the waist. Anyway, that makes a nice finished look on the inside. That's all that's for. And then I worked on the pleats and the darts in the back. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pleats that give more fullness, where this for us full-figured women who have developed a little bit of a belly fat from having children and from aging, and well, you know how it is. I'm sure I'm not the only one. And it seems like it's long-waisted, but when I put it on, my waist is a little bit high. It will go up, and then it kind of gives me more fullness on the top part. And then I will wear a black belt with this dress, and that will accentuate my waistline, makes it look smaller. And so, and then let's see. Now, the hem was the final thing I worked on, but I did have to do a little bit of gathering on the bodice to fit the skirt. And then it's where you match the side seams when you're putting a skirt on a top for a dress, and then you match the tailor tacks and the arrows, or the notches. The notches I think in the back were bigger than the ones in the front. And so I got that all together, and then you pull the thread to gather the remainder of the material so that it gathers, and you've already got your notches pinned and your side seams pinned so that they meet evenly. And then I made the casing for the elastic, so it's there. And I may finish the casing with the overlock stitch, which I also used on the arms when I put the arms on the bodice, and then I trimmed it a little bit. So that makes it very neat, and it very strong. So the arms and the waist are where you need a really strong seam. In fact, they're double stitched, they're double seamed. And then I went ahead and did the overlock stitch on the second inside seam on the tops, and I'm thinking about doing that if I put the elastic in. Now, I really don't need the elastic here, and I probably should have tried it on and showed it to you on me. It fits perfectly. It comes just below my knees. And when I did the hem, this is kind of unusual, and this kind of a hem is really nice when you think about that you can lengthen a child's dress by doing this type of a hem. Let me show it to you. This part of the hem right here is actually sewn on. You can see where it's sewn on the inside, and that just gives you a nice hem. And that's what, about 2.5 or 2-inch hem. And so if you think about it, if you have a dress for a child and it's too short, that you can actually, it doesn't have to be the same fabric, but maybe a solid or even a ruffle you can add on to it for the length that you need for a child that's growing. Usually when they're growing, they get thin, or they're not any bigger in the middle and the top, but their legs grow, and then the dress is too short. And of course, we don't want our girls running around school with real short dresses. So you can actually add a strip. This one came in 2 strips, and one for the front and one for the back. And they match, the notches matched, and it works real well. So that's something to think about. Even 2 strips, that maybe the lower one could be a ruffle, and then kind of a corresponding color for the strips. That, and of course, you would have to measure how much your material you need to do that. But that's just an idea. Anyway, this is my completed dress, and it's just in time. I have a graduation to attend, and I think this dress would be suitable to wear to a graduation, and it fits me just right. And I still have time before the graduation. One of my grandsons is graduating from high school, and I have time to go out and find the yard of 1/4 inch elastic and set it in, and then sew up the hole that I have to put the elastic through, and then do the overlock stitch to strengthen the waist and to finish the seam. Anyway, here it is, from wishing to fruition, and I'm very pleased with it. It may not be perfect, but it's the best I could do with my experience. And when you have a pattern to work with in your size, just follow the directions and do the very best you can. Take your time, and you'll have something to wear. This dress, I would say, would cost me up to $50 retail, and this dress cost me nothing. The only expense out-of-pocket expense that I will have is buying the elastic for the waistband, for the waist area. I received last Mother's Day. I received a gift certificate from my kids, and I spent it on. I went to Joann's, and I bought the backing for the quilt I was making for Olivia's Christmas, and that cost over $20, around there. And then I found this material, 4 yards of it, and I bought that on sale. I can't remember exactly what I paid, but that was not out of my pocket. That was from a gift card. And I still had enough to buy enough to make a baby blanket and also a blouse. I have material to make a summer's blouse. And so I think I did pretty good. I had the thread. I used some thread that wasn't a complete spool of thread, and I had the buttons. And the only thing I was lacking was the elastic. And I thought I had it, but then I realized they didn't, and so I'm going to have to make a trip to a craft store or a fabric store to get that. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.